Happy Wednesday, you guys. Thank you for tuning in with us on all the platforms, wherever you're tuning in from. Say hello.
Yes.
Let us know if you're here with us. Let us know if it's the first time tuning in, or let us know if you've been following us for a while. We'd love to hear that in the comments. And if you are tuning in for the first time, welcome to Divine Femme. What we do is we help female spiritual leaders really catapult their mission forward, step into massive impact, and create a freedom-based lifestyle. And we do this by helping you create a premium transformational program that is a magnetic match to your soulmate clients, so sales feel effortless and like magic.
It's so fun. Yay.
Yeah, so good.
I'm in a really beautiful present space too. Lionsgate Portal opened July 26th, and I've been really working on presence as well. So be with us here for this quick, powerful chat. Be present with us, whether you're watching live, we see you, welcome in, or whether you watch the replay, because this is a really important topic, you guys. It's called Let's Be Honest. What other choice do you have but to listen to soul? And it's so interesting because soul is that quietness inside of us that is the answer to all of our questions. It's that next step telling us what to do. It's the courage, it's the wholeness, it's the perfection, it's all of it, right? And yet, so many times, whether we don't know it, we're unaware, we're still asleep, we haven't woken up yet to listen to that and realize the impact, the power of literally listening to soul. And then once you do, if you align with us, you're like, I can't not listen to soul. Alignment. We are so big with Divine Femme, with our Sacred Leader Academy on alignment, guys, because when you're aligned, it just works. It just works. Alignment trumps everything. Alignment trumps everything. But getting to that point of understanding why is so important. So I'm pumped. Let's have an open conversation about what other choice do you have? Let's be real. And to listen to soul.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in, Lisette. We see you over there on LinkedIn saying hello to you. Is this your first time tuning in with us, or have you been with us for a while? Let us know. Again, if you guys are tuning in with us live, we'd love to hear that. This is such a powerful topic because so many spiritual entrepreneurs will go into wanting to start their spiritual business. Let's first say how important that is. This is your soul's calling manifesting in physical form, where you're able to deliver a transformation or be a catalyst or a way shower in some way, an alchemist in some way, a guide, whatever you want to call yourself. You don't have to call yourself a coach, but whatever it is, you're being called to step up in a massive way to help someone else through their own journey, to be a catalyst in their journey, likely by coming full circle in your own journey. And when you finally hear the call, and for everybody that resonates with this, and not everybody will, when you hear the call and it's in your heart and soul, it's something that becomes so loud and so strong that nothing you do to try to ignore it, or because we'll try to ignore it, we'll try to suppress it because it doesn't make sense, or maybe you haven't figured out how it's going to look, or this or that. And so there's so many fear-based energies that pop up around this. But when you finally hear the call, you know that there is no other choice but to follow this. And that can be a scary thing because you don't know how it's going to look. You know, innately that your world is going to change in a big way when you step into sharing your message and your gift with the world, and stepping into full authentic expression and allowing whatever soul wants to through you to come through. Innately, you know that your world is going to change. Your 3D world is going to change. Your job may change. The friends may change. Your circle may change. Your community may change. How you show up is going to change. Your message is going to change. What you share with the world, all of it's changing. And you have no fucking idea where you're going with it yet. You're just answering the call, surrendering to the call. And at some point, the more committed you are to this, by the way, it doesn't necessarily make the journey any less turbulent, but the more committed you are to this, the more you'll recognize that faith is a big factor in this, you guys. Being able to step in faith and follow your soul's calling, even when you don't see that it's working out. And so many of our clients will teeter going or have these fear-based energies where they'll have one toe dipped into their soul's calling and they still have other things going on, and like maybe it's another job, maybe it's like whatever, but they're being
Mhm.
called to go all in and jump all in. Well, that's when they hire us. Those are the people that really resonate with our message the most, is they are being called to take that leap of faith and go in, all in on themselves and put skin in the game and commit and put the time,
Mhm.
energy, and money that's necessary to invest in what their soul is calling them to create. Um, and so many of them, I hear this just recently. I heard this. Why can't I just settle like everyone else? Why can't I just go out and just go get a normal 9 to 5 and just
Mhm.
go? And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing if that's what you're in right now. So that might not be settling for you, but it is settling for the person that knows in their heart and their soul that that is not meant for them and that is not their path. That is not their highest destiny, which is what we're actually activating here. When we work together with clients, what we're helping you
Mhm.
activate is your highest destiny. Think about that. This is your soul's calling, your highest destiny, your highest path, the one that keeps you in your zone of genius and your most authentic expression, sharing exactly who you are and creating something that supports that so you can live in ultimate like fulfillment. Not to say you're not going to go through transformations and struggles and success and failures. That's part of the journey. But this roller coaster ride of expansion, not only on a
Mhm.
physical level, but on a mental level, emotional level, and spiritual level, activating your highest destiny, activating your highest calling. You know you can't settle for a 9 to 5, but yet you still toy with it, right? You still entertain it, right? And that's
Mhm.
fine. But there's always something in your back of your mind like, why can't I just go get a regular 9 to 5 like everybody else and go on my merry way? And you know that even if you could do that, you really won't do that because your soul just won't allow it. You can feel, you can feel the resistance to that, and you can feel the desire for that simultaneously when you're in the middle of having one of your fits or one of your come to Jesus moments where it looks like, basically what's happening is your faith is really being tested beyond what you think is possible for yourself. And you have to really fully step into to allow that to unfold.
Mhm.
How committed are you to really just recognizing, okay, this is all I'm available for. This is all I'm available for. And this doesn't mean you don't
Mhm.
make responsible decisions in your life, but the sooner you acknowledge that this is an unwavering committed decision, this is an unwavering committed, it's not even, I don't even want to say the word decision because it wasn't even a decision when I answered the call. And I remember the day that I did this, and this was back in October, I think, of 2014. This was not really a decision, it was an answering. It was
Mhm.
an answering.
Mhm.
It's not even really a decision, it was a surrendering.
That's the word I was hoping you were gonna say, girl. That is everything. You
Yeah,
know.
it
Mhm.
was a surrendering.
Yeah.
What are you surrendering to? What are you surrendering to? I really want you to journal this out if you're with us right now. What are you surrendering to?
Mhm.
Are you surrendering to your ego to lead the way? Are you surrendering to God to lead the way? What's going to come through you, right? What are you surrendering to? I know what I surrendered to, and I'll just share this. I remember in the moment when I answered the call and I was going into a deep meditation. My house, I recently called off an engagement, got rid of all the furniture. My house was completely empty, and I spent like, I don't know, 2 years meditating, going out and working, coming back and meditating. That's all I was doing, was really just tuning in and listening to spirit and to soul and
Mhm.
to going through some of the work that was necessary for me to expand beyond where I was at the time. And I remember this was on the onset of my spiritual awakening, and I remember having a deep knowing that I was meant to share something really special with the world, and I didn't know what that was. But I literally closed my eyes in deep meditation and heard 3 loud angelic bells ringing in the
Mhm.
empty room that I was sitting in as I
Mhm.
sat in full body chills and surrendered to my calling,
Mhm.
whatever
Mhm.
that was. And the prayer that I said at that time was, I release everything that I think I need to know or how it needs to look, and I welcome spirit to come through and restructure everything whatever has to happen for this. And I remember so much, there was a fear and a hesitancy when I was doing it, when I was in the midst of it, because there was an unknown variable and something innately inside me knew that my entire world was going to get turned upside down. That I was willing and open to release and let go of everything that wasn't serving me on any level, that wasn't bringing me into my highest alignment, my highest soul path, to my highest destiny in service in this lifetime. And anything other than that must go. And I didn't know what that meant, but it was profound. And it was in the moment. It was profound and it was scary, and it had an anxiety, fear to it. But at the same time, there was a trust and a knowing in some core deep part of me, my soul, whatever you want to refer to it. And I could tell I was surrounded by angels in that moment. I was surrounded by angels in that moment and my guides. And there was, even though there was this fear, there was also a comforting blanket of warmth and knowing that no matter what happened, in the end, it was all going to be okay. And it was all going to be for my highest and greatest good. And every single time since then, there's been moments where I've had to remind myself of what I committed to back then and recognize that there's this level of faith that is required on this journey, you guys. There's a level of faith that is required. And you can go whatever you know. So I'm just going to leave it at that. This is because we see this so much, we hear this so much, and it's, to be honest, it's part of the journey. If you don't experience this, it's almost like, what's the word? It's almost like a rite of passage for someone that's really stepping into divine service. There is a level of commitment and faith and trust in God and knowingness that the deeper part of you that connects you to all things and the divine that's working through you, that you're going to be moving your ego out of the way. There's a knowing that things are going to shift, things are going to change, and it's just the way it is. It's almost like a rite of passage to be able to surrender to that degree where you're willing to let the divine run the show.
I have full body chills, girl. So much was said. We talked about being present because of Lionsgate right now and just the act of being present. But like right now, let those words land, whether you're with us live, we see you guys, or in the replay. But I want you guys to tap into, like, it's so bizarre. Sarah and I always say this, like how it's something you experience and you know it, but it's like simultaneously you're scared shitless, but you also know, almost like a part of you is already there in that vortex, in that vision, in whatever you want to call it. And I just got chills. And it's like the bridging of that moment when your human body and your ego self can connect and align with that higher version, and that you collapse time. You collapse it just in that splice of a moment, you feel it all. And then the question is, which is why you hire us and work with us, because then all these tactics of the ego doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's a human necessity while we're here on earth to bring up awareness of what's coming up for you. So of course the fear comes in, of course the blocks. We get in our fucking head instead of tapping back into that knowing. It's a knowing, guys, and it's so again, I don't even have human words. It's a feeling. It's a known. So maybe sit with yourself and ask, like, what does it feel like? What does it taste like? What's the color? Tap into that knowing and strengthen. We would encourage you to strengthen that connection of that knowing, which is soul. But I love what Sarah said too. And props to you. You know, a lot of our clients are at that moment where like they feel it, they answer it, they know it, and then something can't move them forward, which is obviously why we come in and help you with that, with our program, with our everything that we do with and for you, right? And what's so cool is, and we're seeing so many beautiful clients now that just are coming out, and I get so emotional. This is what I love so much. Sarah and me get to be the vehicle for you, but like they're the ones doing it, and in their power when they're coming back, they get to experience. We can't, put any of it's unique for everyone, but like there's something so powerful when you allow yourself to get to that other side. And like Sarah said, absolutely, that doesn't mean it's one time happening and then it's a smooth ride. No. And do we really want that? No. At the end, I believe when you get to the end of your life, you look back, like you're going to be like, oh God, that was fun. All of it. because we know it's all God, it's all parts, everything is working out exactly as it's supposed to, right? But how can we, even right now in this moment, allow yourself, you guys, to leverage this amazing energy of this portal, to tap back in, be present, let your soul speak. Let's be honest. What other choice do we have but to follow soul? Your soul effing knows. It's that simple. We are the ones that make it complicated. It doesn't have to be.
Mhm.
And if you're done with that game, if you're done with the fear, if you know it, you've answered the call, you feel it, and you want to tweak and really step into your power and feel it, and like imagine for a second what you can do, the impact you can have when you let your soul speak. I know you feel it, which is why you align with us and you come work with us. Now get out of
Mm.
your own way. That's why you come and
Mm.
you go. Oh my gosh, it's
Yeah,
incredible.
the
There's no
mind
words.
the mind the
Hmm.
mind will come up with all the different excuses. Once you make that committed decision, watch out because you will be challenged. You will be challenged.
Hmm.
You will be challenged to follow through. You will be challenged to hold that faith. You will be challenged to create that space. You will be challenged to your core because so
Hmm.
much of your current existence will have to be restructured. Your
Yes.
belief systems will come into check, like up for debate. Like so many things will be
Hmm.
shifting.
But
Um,
now you are welcome, because it is our hope that if you are ready and you align, you listen to this again, whether you're with us now or on the replay. I love this because now you'll be aware. We get to bring up the awareness for you when this is happening, and when you have that turbulence. You now, because you listen to this, how powerful, we're all in this together. You get to have your power back and be the awareness of it. And you say, I know what's going on here. Hey, it's all good. And you can go back into flow. So
mm.
leverage that. Use us. Use this moment right now, this present powerful moment right now. Do you get it? That is so
Yeah.
good.
So,
Mm.
side note, Vanessa, like I just noticed your shirt says "Hello, gorgeous." Like this is the cup. I never drink
I'm like,
coffee. This
shut
is the
up.
cup I mean, I
Stop
usually drink
it!
out of.
Oh my God, I have chills. I've been in such an
I haven't
effing space,
drank a
girl.
coffee cup on our live streams in the longest time because I'm always drinking out of the Divine Femme stemware.
Yes.
But this is what I
Uh-huh.
decided to. This is what I decided to drink out of today.
And pause my, I swear to God, this is so effing fun. I
For
literally,
everybody that's listening on the podcast later or whatnot, this is it's a coffee mug that says "Hello, gorgeous."
and what's so fun is I don't even know what, I followed soul. And like, this is what's really fun too. So listen, I'll back it up for 1 second. All these little synchronicities, these alignments, it's magic. And this happens to us and for us, for small and big things, right? All day long, which is so cool. So why is this important? And again, I'm wearing a Hello Gorgeous shirt. Sarah has her Hello Gorgeous mug. I like, so here's why this is fun. When you follow soul, it was, and I swear to God, I love these stories that come up. It was in the last second for both my shirt and the mug. I was going through, I was kind of running late. Oops, sorry. And I had to pick a shirt. And for whatever reason, I was going to put on my other, I literally had it on. And something said, no, just, I want to put on this one for whatever reason. We don't have to know the why, right? And then I swear to God,
Mm.
as God is my witness, I'd go to reach for my Divine Femme, my glass that we have. And something said, you know what? No, go. And I went and I got a mug as well. I was having coffee. So again, same thing for Sarah. She was going to do that and she went to go grab her mug. So again, why is this important? Is because two things. I want to close this out. Fear, when we play into the drama and the bullshit of the illusion that fear is, and I'm going to boldly say that because it's time we all help each other to wake the F up. When we play into that drama, that lack, that bullshit that fear is, it takes away your power. When we are in our head, in our mind, and listening to everyone else but soul, it takes us away from our power. It is an easy switch, you guys. I have chills right now because when you can go within, soul is the answer to everything. Soul is that quiet place within that gets to literally flow you through life and make that's where the magic happens. The magic with our sales, with our clients, the magic of downloads coming in and actually taking action to implement it and have the impact that it does. It blows their mind. Do we see how it's this orchestration of stuff? I say this all the time and I love this. Einstein said it best. We literally have two ways to go about this world: act and believe and know, as one, as if nothing's a miracle; two, as if everything's a miracle. What would your life look like if right now you listened to soul? You don't question it. You don't have to. Why? Get out of your fucking head. Go into your soul and play. Play, play, play. Ah, so good. So good.
Yay, so
Yes,
good. You
guys,
guys
this is so good.
If you're wanting to dive deeper with us and really step into your power as a divine feminine leader, really create the impact that you know you're here to make, answer that calling, step into your mission, really activate this for yourself, and create a spiritual business online that scales you so you can simultaneously have the freedom-based lifestyle that your soul is craving, then this is what we specialize in. First step is to watch the master class, which I just popped into the chat wherever you're watching this live or on the replay. If you're on the podcast, you can definitely check it out in the show notes. So master class is the first step. If the master class resonates, that's going to be really simple. It's only about 20 some minutes long. It's where Vanessa and I are going to share the simple framework that our clients are using to get results, and what you need to know to really attract and soulmate clients and build a sustainable spiritual business online. So just check in with yourself. If it feels like alignment, it feels like a yes, then take the next step, which is to book a free impact assessment with me. And that's where I'm going to dive deeper with you into your particular business and help you close the gaps there. So obviously we will be able to also discuss and answer any questions that you have about Sacred Leader Academy, so we can decide and discern on that call if it feels like a mutual fit. Because we don't let anybody into the program. We want to make sure it's a mutual fit, and you can get all your questions answered on the impact assessment as well. If you have been watching us for a while and you're like, hell yes, I'm in. I've been watching you girls. I know this is it. I'm answering the call. My soul said yes. I'm ready for this. You can skip the impact assessment altogether and just DM us and say, hey, how do I work with you guys? And we'll get you the link to get started. And we can even go back and chat a little bit in the DMs or whatever and answer any questions that you have. So if you're one of those women that are, it's sort of like, that's how I roll. If you're one of those women that know, and you don't need to go through the typical process, and you're just like, listen, I called this in yesterday and here you are on my feed, or here you are on my podcast, or here you are and this is resonating and it's hitting me right where it resonates the most, and I know, then what would it look like? How would your life change if you were able to really answer your calling and answer the soul in the moment, following your intuition without the fear, and take the next step and check in with yourself? Can you act on a full body hell yes? Or do you need to go through the process of answering all the questions in your mind and then like going through that process, which, you know, to be honest, the biggest leaps I've made in my business are the ones where I already know, like anytime I've ever worked with a mentor, I already called them in. And this is what most of our clients say anyways, by the time they hop on the impact assessment with me, they always say, I ask them how they found us, what made them pull the trigger. They called it in, they were guided to us. They, you know, like they'll say something that alludes to the fact that they already called it in, and then poof, we appeared in their feed, or they landed on the perfect episode that just really struck them at their core. Right. And so then they take action on that. How bold can you be? Because your soul goes bold. Your soul doesn't play small. How bold can you be? What kind of action can you take, whether small or little, whether it's a small soul-based nudge or something like investing into a mentor, which is an investment. We get that. And we're happy to discuss the details in the DM. So just DM us or email us or whatever. But how bold can you be? Because your soul goes bold. It doesn't play small, and it doesn't wait for logical rationalization to make a decision. It goes off of your intuition, which is not logical. It's something that knows. And I can just say firsthand, every mentor that I've hired that moved the needle for me, every single one of them, have perfectly aligned. I already knew before I ever even hopped on their call in their process or whatever, that I wanted to hire them. Like the call was really like, okay, how do we work together? That was really the bulk of like the call. And so when you can take those actions and trust in that, you're able to do that more consistently in your life, in big and small moments. And when you're able to follow soul in big and small moments, what do you think will transpire for yourself when you're able to act from that place? So just play with that and see what kind of fear comes up, what kind of story comes up, what kind of fear comes up when you're being asked to take action on your soul nudges, big or small. And pay attention to that, because those little stories, those little things in your head, that little fear that's speaking, the doubt, the need for more certainty, the need for all of these things, the soul doesn't need that. The soul knows. The mind thinks. The more you can go inward and trust in that knowingness and be able to act from a full body hell yes, the more you're going to be aligning your path back into alignment with what you're here to do. And this doesn't mean you have to throw out responsible decision making. We're not saying that. We don't want you to sign up for Sacred Leader Academy if it's going to put you in some kind of stressful situation where you can't, this or that. Like but do expect that when you hire a mentor, especially if it's your first one, which I will just say a lot of our clients, it is their first one. So I'm just going to share with you, do expect that before, if you've never done it before, that you are going to have a bit of shit, what? Oh shit, what? You know what I mean? You're going to have a little bit of that energy popping up, but it's the most exhilarating energy behind it. You can tell that there's a fear there, while there's also this exhilaration behind it, where you just know it and you just want it so bad, and you just know. And there's just like, and if it wasn't just for that little fear voice, you would have already pulled the trigger. That exhilaration is there. The moment you pull the trigger on that and you take what we call sacred action is an intuitive guided action that instills a sense of fear, largely because it's getting you out of your comfort zone and your familiar patterns, and it's about to catapult you into a whole new trajectory, and you can feel that. And so immediately the fear steps in, that wants to keep you from doing those things, to keep you in your comfort zone, keep you in your familiar zone. So when that happens and you're able to follow your intuitive guidance and that sacred action and that soul nudge in the moment, it is the most liberating, exhilarating thing that you will ever do. Most of our clients, when they pull the trigger, if they're a first timer and they've never hired a coach before, immediately after they pay, and we're mid-tier, you guys. We're not like high. We're not the highest, and we're not the lowest. We're going to give you the best value that you can get if you're starting out for your spiritual business. But it's so fun to listen to them send back voice clips of like, oh my God, I just did this and this is amazing. And I can feel so much energy coming through. And like, you just feel the expansion already working, because they were able to take a step on their journey that they know they were being called to make, and they were willing to step through the fear to do it. And the moment they do that, it immediately up levels. It opens up your channel to expand into so much more, because you just busted through that subconscious belief pattern that keeps you hitting your head on your ceiling, right? It keeps you hitting your head from going past your ceiling and busting through that ceiling of familiarity that you're keeping yourself trapped in. And that is a very empowering place to be. So reach out to us if you know you want to jump in. And
it's like a spiritual orgasm, isn't it? Like, it really is. Let's be so real here. It's like a spiritual orgasm. I'm just gonna call it. It's fun.
It is. So if you're in the mood for a spiritual orgasm, and you want to go ahead and reach out, and we'll facilitate that for you.
This just became a very different show. Oh my God, I love you so much, girl. So good. Happy Wednesday, everyone. So good.